Hi, I'm Sam.
And I'm Miguel.
This is the Didn't Anyone Mention podcast.
Welcome back.
I guess, yeah. I've seen like
Just so you're aware, I am sick
Oh,
recording this podcast.
the man cold.
The man cold. That's unbelievable. You know what they used to call the man cold? The plague. So, thank you. I'm fighting through the plague.
That's crazy because right before this, Miguel's voice was totally fine, and
No, it
then
wasn't. She's lying to you. I feel, let me describe how I feel. If you found a dog shit on the sidewalk that's been ran over, pancaked up, you take that, you scrape it up with a spatula, deep fry it in cat piss, and then serve it to a whale. Well, I feel like the whale that just ate that. Yeah, that's how I feel.
well, there's like some things called medicine that you can take so you don't feel bad.
Oh yeah, I know about the devil's juice. Very aware.
Yeah, okay, just offering it.
I
Unless it's a pre-workout, you don't want it.
I don't even like pre-workout.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. That's why you just take it instead.
Anyways. We're gonna off topic
Miguel's
already.
like, I gotta work out. I'll take some. I'll take some cold medicine so I
Yeah,
can work
dude.
out.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Anyways, well, sorry, didn't mean to distract for as long as I did.
Honestly, pretty despicable. But so
Okay,
if my voice
sickly.
sounds funny, that's why. I also think I sound like a sexy man. Like my voice is just really low.
Baby, lock them doors.
Let's see if I can do it. Okay. Okay. I can't. All right, here we go. Baby, lock them doors and turn them lights down low. I've been waiting for this all day long.
Miguel, those aren't the words.
Yes, they are.
Not the last part.
What is it? That's what I fucking thought.
No, I'm not saying it
Yes. What are they?
because they're wrong. You're wrong.
Okay.
Miguel just makes up words. They're like the complete. They're technically correct words, but they're just not in the right order at all, or like not even in the right part of the song.
Now you are shalaborating.
Shalaborating.
Mm-hmm.
What's that? Tell me.
It's like mansplaining, but for women.
Oh, so you're mansplaining me what I'm doing?
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
Uno reverse.
Okay. Well,
Okay, go for it,
I'm gonna cut you off right now.
please.
You're cut. Have you ever heard of the Lake Pend Oreille Paddler?
I have not.
Okay. Well, it is a cryptid from northern Idaho. It's actually came to us from a redditor.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, they live up that way, and they gave us their first-hand encounter that I will dig into at the end of this. But for now, I have a whole story that has conspiracies, twists, a bunch of weird things happening going on. So, Lake Pend Oreille. It looks like it's Lake Pend Orielle, but it's pronounced Pend Oreille. Don't ask me. These people, I don't get it.
Sometimes it's just not something for you to get.
Yeah, seriously. It's in North Idaho. It's one of the deepest lakes in the United States at 1,100 feet. That's
Dang.
that's pretty deep, and it's
Dang.
dark and cold water. Sorry, guys, the sickness really caught up with me just now. And for decades, visitors and locals have reported sightings of a serpent-like creature, kind of like the Loch Ness monster, kind of like it, but not quite the same.
Okay.
They call it the Pend Oreille Paddler, Lake Pend Oreille Paddler.
Mm-hmm.
Most descriptions agree that it's 20 to 40 feet long, and it's dark, slick skin, and it moves like an oversized eel or a snake, one of the two.
Hmm.
The first big wave of sightings starting in the 1940s. Fishermen told stories of nets being torn apart by something strong and unseen. Some even claimed to see a giant shadow gliding under their boats. Locals chalked it up to tall tales or like logs floating underneath.
Mm-hmm.
You know how there's a bunch of pine trees up that way?
Yeah.
That was until the military got involved.
Dang, a military. That's good. It's a good sign. I mean, not good sign, but like means that something spooky's happening.
Yeah. I usually think so. Most of the time. um, During World War II, Lake Pend Oreille became home to a top secret U.S. Navy facility. The Navy was testing submarines. That's how deep it was. They were testing submarine acoustics in the
Nice.
lake. Um, and officially, quote unquote, they were studying sound waves for submarine warfare.
Hmm.
But rumors started swirling about what they really found down there. Dun, dun, dun. The story goes that the Navy's sonar equipment picked up something unusual, large, moving objects deeper than they should have been. They weren't submarines, and they definitely weren't fish. The military denied everything, but folks near the lake noticed an uptick in strange activity. Blacked out boats patrolling the water at night, helicopters flying low over the surface, and a sudden surge of military presence.
I thought you said they were testing out stuff.
Yeah, but this is when the uptick of the rumors started swirling.
Okay, okay.
So I guess yeah.
Because I think that's what they're gonna try to test is if their submarine stuff only works underwater, not in a boat or above.
Sounds like you are a non-believer, but
Oh well,
go
no,
ahead,
no. I'm just
continue.
no. I'm just saying that.
No, no, it
Yeah,
makes
okay.
sense. It makes sense. Just
I'm playing devil's advocate. You always gotta play devil's advocate.
I suppose. I guess. Um, but here's where things get spicy. Some theorists claim that the paddler isn't a cryptid at all. It's a man-made monster.
A man-made monster.
Mhm.
Okay.
According to this version slash theory, the Navy was experimenting with robotic aquatic drones that looked and moved like sea creatures that were biomechanical.
Oh.
They were designed to sneak into enemy waters undetected, but as the theory goes on, one of the prototypes got loose in the lake and they couldn't reel it back in.
Hmm. Interesting. That's pretty cool though.
What do you think about that?
What do you mean? You're looking at me like so intense. Um. I mean, but you said biomechanical, so you're saying like,
Half robot, half living.
yeah, I guess it depends on what the living is, because I don't know, back in World War II, I would think it would be like, oh, we're using an old snake's skin,
Who
and
knew?
then
Who
we're
knows what
just
they
putting
really had back
robots.
in World War
Yeah,
II?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Now I would be like, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I could totally see that.
I bet I would see it back in the day too.
Yeah, but yeah, I could see it.
Another theory suggests the Navy accidentally disturbed an ancient creature that had been
Oh.
chilling in the depths for millennia. The paddler wasn't just some random cryptid, but it was a prehistoric survivor, maybe even a cousin of the Loch Ness monster.
Hmm, I could see that.
Yeah, but they're kind of on the other side of the world.
It doesn't mean that the world wasn't all pushed together at one
You're
point.
right, Pangea.
Pangea, am I right?
That's right. Now this is my favorite part right here. Fast forward to the 1980s,
Mm-hmm.
and the paddler story takes on another wild turn.
Always
People
does.
around the lake started reporting strange lights hovering over the water at night. UFO enthusiasts get involved, claiming
Of
the lights were
course.
connected to the creature. Some believe the paddler wasn't of this world at all, but an alien being hiding in the lake. Others argue the Navy was back at it, using the lake as a testing ground for classified tech, and the lights were evidence of an experimental aircraft.
Hmm.
Or,
Okay.
or underwater drones.
I was gonna say there's like, yeah. I'd say for how technology is, I wouldn't be surprised if people were testing stuff or like had drone. Like I would. It could be whatever. I guess it could be literally anything.
It literally could be.
Yeah.
And I think they just keep it that way.
Mm-hmm.
In so many instances, like you could be right, but it could be these other 100 things that people are
Yeah,
talking about.
because that's the other thing is like it genuinely could be so many options that's how I don't know. I guess that sometimes makes it more interesting. So you just always knew why or always knew the explanation. Like, is that more fun or not?
I think it absolutely would be more fun. Tell me that there's aliens. Actually, don't tell me that one.
Pretty sure there is.
I'm pretty confident too. Yeah. So where were we? Underwater drones, experimental aircraft. The military denied everything, which is typical.
What does the military like say they do? Like, if you ask them any kind of thing that's like, that's a little suspicious, they're like, nah, no, it's not. We're not there. And you're like, okay.
I know, right?
Wink, wink.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, literally the locals were like, something funky's going on.
This is like Coeur d'Alene area, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, over that way. But the locals, they weren't buying it. Too much weird shit was happening.
Yeah.
The sightings kept piling up. Fishermen swore that they saw glowing orbs hovering above the water before vanishing. Campers along the shore reported hearing eerie, unearthly sounding echoes across the lake at night.
Ew.
And then, in the 2000s, the Navy's presence at Lake Pend Oreille ramped up again. Officially, they were testing quieter submarine technology, but the conspiracy crowd latched onto the new idea. The paddler wasn't just one creature, but one of many. But there were many of them. According to this theory, the Navy discovered an entire ecosystem of these giant aquatic beasts and they've been studying them or even weaponizing them.
Jeez.
One wild claim even suggests that the Navy built an underwater base in the lake to monitor and contain the creature. Scuba divers near certain areas have reported hearing strange mechanical noises coming from deep underwater, far beyond where any civilian craft could go.
Dang.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why wouldn't they?
Do you think we have the technology to build something underwater? Is it already a thing?
I mean, we have some pretty intense stuff that go underwater.
You're right, like SeaWorld? The tubes? I've never been to SeaWorld, I'm just assuming.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, I'm just assuming.
SeaWorld is above water, or above ground.
That's a very misleading name, then.
It's all the sea creatures.
And where do they live?
Well, they just make big old
under
pools.
fucking
Why do you
water.
think SeaWorld gets so much hate? They're just big old bathtubs for these freaking critters.
Honestly, at this point, they should just hand them the toaster. Because...
Stop.
Dude, what kind of life is that?
That's the whole point. That's why
What?
everybody hates on SeaWorld.
What have I seen then where there's like tubes underwater and there's like sharks and shit flying around, floating?
Well, it's a big old tank,
swimming?
and they just make a tube in the tank.
That's not actually in the ocean?
No.
That is so fucked. That's not real. Are you serious?
I'm serious. I have been to SeaWorld.
Oh.
Multiple times.
You support.
Dude, I used to go to SeaWorld every single year before.
You used to go every single year?
When I was a kid, when I went to Florida every year.
You went to Florida every year?
Yes. My mom worked at a travel agency, and it was when we were little, we got free tickets. And then my mom, my grandma's sister, so my mom's aunt, my great aunt, lived there. And my mom and her were really close. She would just go down and we would just stay with her. So my mom only paid for her ticket.
So you're a Floridanite, huh?
This was when I was like younger. Like we stopped when I was in elementary school. But I still remember them all. Still remember.
I did not know that about you.
Yeah. Busch Gardens, SeaWorld were the two places we always went. You know, it was never on the list. Disney.
Disneyland? They're probably
Never.
just as bad, dude. Next thing you're to tell me Mickey Mouse isn't a real mouse. Huh? Go ahead, say it.
He's not.
Yeah, that's what I fucking
Neither
thought.
is Minnie.
You shut up right now, dude.
You want me to tell you something real crazy about
No.
Donald or what? Because he's not real either.
He's a duck.
Yeah, but like, it's just a duck.
Don't say it, dude.
Just a
Don't
cartoon
say
duck.
it. Don't say it.
You gonna finish up what you're talking about?
No. No. I'm actually too distraught to even continue.
Yeah, Miguel thought that there's just tubes in the ocean for SeaWorld.
I mean, it's a very misleading name, if not.
I'm just. It's just like the zoo.
Yeah, but those creatures live out in the air, in the land.
Not all of them.
Which ones?
Think about those aquatic ones. You know what's even worse about SeaWorld? You can look at the ocean from SeaWorld. So these poor little whales and orcas just like look over and they see the ocean.
They
where
probably
they
see their boyfriend or girlfriend in the
their
water.
babies.
Or their babies. Oh my gosh, just over the water, just going. Or whatever sound orcas make.
Yeah. I think they use echolocation.
That's arguably worse.
Or sonar. Like, is that? Echo would be outside. Sonar would be underneath the water, right?
I don't
Well,
remember.
because they just use the little vibrations.
What's that movie where they do that? Where the beluga does
It's
echolocation or something?
It's Finding Dory.
Finding Dory? And he scans everything. That's what they did?
I think so, yeah.
Damn. Maybe they should find a key and get out of that place.
Miguel. Unhinged. Anyways, how did we even get the... Oh, yes, I think they could build a base.
Yeah. Actually, I believe it less now. Since I guess we have to entrap our orcas and belugas next to the ocean. That's so fucked up. Not even in the ocean.
No.
That's pretty fucked up.
I know.
And I can't believe you've been to Florida so many times.
I mean, like 5 or 6. Not including my adulthood.
That is 5 or 6 times more than I've ever been.
I know.
That's
it's still a sore spot for Miguel because
that's a story for the end.
Yeah, I was gonna say we'll explain why he has a freaking rough spot.
Yep. Okay, where were we? They were back 2000s. They were back into the water.
They might have an underground base.
May have an underground base. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
So nowadays, the paddler is a mix of local legend and a cryptid celebrity.
Okay.
Sightings are less frequent, but they still happen. Most are dismissed as sturgeon. The lake itself is known to have massive sturgeon, which, if you've seen a sturgeon, they're like beefy. They can get big.
Mm-hmm.
They can get huge. Or just logs floating below the surface.
Mm-hmm.
But if you ask any believer, they'll tell you that it's alive and well, that it's real.
That's crazy.
Whatever part of that is real.
Yeah. Something's down there is all they're saying.
This is a weird one. So the Redditor brought this up. He was suggesting that at the bottom of Lake Pend Oreille, it connects to Yellowstone. Like there's a magma tube or something, a tube that connects to the volcano. And underneath that there's a tube that connects to other lakes. So almost like there's a transportation system of waterways under the surface that pretty much all gets connected by the Yellowstone volcano. So these massive geothermal volcanoes, they're all connected. So like the Loch Ness Monster could be technically interconnected with Lake Pend Oreille, that it just uses those waterways under the surface of the earth to travel through and through to different places. That could be, quote unquote, the reason for the sightings all over the place. And it's never been caught, is that they use these geothermal waterways.
Interesting.
Right.
Okay. Were you gonna tell me his story, or is that was his story?
Yeah, let me pull it up. It might take me a second.
You're good. Okay. So I have this random thought. I think I saw it in a video.
Okay.
And people were saying, is it weird? Like, Do you believe that the center of the Earth is molten lava?
Yes.
But why is it the farther you go to the core, the colder it is?
What do you like? What do you mean?
Like the deeper you go with water, with dirt, or like all that, like when you go in the ocean, it's just colder and colder and colder and colder.
That's true. Yeah, it is true.
It's a little trippy. But is it just because that's how you explain volcanoes? Or
Honestly, I couldn't tell you. I have no idea.
but doesn't it make you wonder?
About
I
like
would need to look into it, but kind of an interesting thought. But these tunnels, well, hopefully the tunnels aren't too hot because, like I said, molten lava, if it's there.
I think it's probably there, right?
Well, I don't understand why it keeps on getting colder.
I think to a certain point it just doesn't anymore, and then it warms back up.
So you're saying it's like a gets colder than warmer situation. Okay, I see you.
That's what I would say. Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, so I'm guessing the tunnels. I could see it, especially if you're like if you tracked sightings, and if they were never technically seen at the same time on the same day. I could see how you're like, okay, well maybe they are using something, or maybe it is one thing.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
found it.
Found it. The guy's name on Reddit is Crazy ADHD. It's not me, I promise. We pretty much covered everything that he said, but what did he say here? Sorry, this is crazy.
Is it stuff he said was crazy, or is it just like long, or what?
It's just long. I'm trying to read through it.
Oh, he was trying to find the part. Well,
Yeah, I can't find it. I think we covered it.
okay.
Yeah, I think
thought
the
you
part of it. I think the part of it was the tubes. I think
Okay.
that's what it was.
That he was just like, but there's tubes under there.
Yeah.
Well, what if it's not just the Loch Ness monster using it? What if it's military trying to use it? That's why they're tracking them.
That's a possibility.
Because that's pretty powerful.
Imagine, dude, you just go down through these tubes and just get jetted out somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah. Could you imagine like safety, like military? I mean, military wise, that'd be pretty intense.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty convenient to build a base there, though.
Yeah. Well, if it's so deep, it would make sense on. It's pretty secluded. It's pretty like.
Secluded. I don't know, but
I mean, it's not near any major city. I guess maybe Seattle, technically.
oh, you're talking about that. I mean, I count. Yeah, I guess you're right. Coeur d'Alene's kind of big.
But like, no, what I'm saying is like, in every single movie.
Oh, you're
the
right.
Cities that are always taken.
I'm actually super happy none of them take place like the Alien movies.
It's never Idaho.
It's never Idaho.
Yeah.
It's like we're just so passed over.
You know, the only one I have, I think I remember, is Red Dawn. I'm pretty sure it takes place in like they go through Idaho, and that's how they like survive. They live in the woods.
In Idaho?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
That's pretty cool. Yeah,
but I could be wrong. But it was a survivor kind of movie, so maybe I'm tripping. But
imagine just watching these movies as a kid, and it's like an alien movie, and it happens in LA, and you're like, isn't that where we live?
Just continuous.
Yeah, just every movie you go see, it's either New York, LA, or that's it, right? New York or LA.
Yeah, they have like some like Florida one. Like they have like some like Florida ones. I feel like they have like a Seattle one, maybe. No. I don't know, but it is like.
I feel like it's always New York or LA.
It is, or DC. DC's always the other one. But yeah, I mean, if you're gonna live in a political area, I feel like that's just like freaking. That's just waiting for it, writing on the walls.
I suppose, but if you're an alien, you don't really know that.
Well, I think you would just go to the most densely populated area.
New York, LA.
Yeah, so you would just, if anything, you just scan
Hong Kong.
Yeah, that's the other thing is like, would it? Do you think it would be the U.S.?
That's a tough one.
Because India, China, I think they're more populated than we are.
I guess it depends with the response, military response. I think depending on where if aliens come in through the sky, I think they come from underwater, but it's a different story for a different day. If they come in through the sky, it depends on who they go
They're
over.
using the tunnels.
It could be.
Yeah.
My dad actually told me a theory that he watched a video about these UFOs dropping into volcanoes, and he thinks that is a multi-dimensional
Like
rift
teleport?
point
Yeah,
or something. Teleport.
That's why it's so hot and nobody wants to go towards it because it discourages them.
He's like, only they have the technology to withstand it, and it's like a highway for other aliens.
That's crazy. That's so cool.
It's pretty wild.
That's awesome. Dang. Well, yeah.
There was something I was gonna say at the end of this podcast.
Well, what do you think?
Why I won't go to Disneyland
Oh,
or
yes.
Disney World.
No, it's even Florida.
Either of them.
Yeah, so Florida, Miguel bought, like, we were all gonna go. This was like 2019.
Yeah.
So
Pre-COVID,
we were all going. It was, there was like my mom, my sister, and her two friends were going, and then Miguel was gonna go.
Mm-hmm.
So we were gonna go a whole posse.
Yeah, I remember this like it was yesterday.
Miguel bought the plane tickets.
I sure did.
Non-refundable.
Non-refundable.
And I think they were only a couple $100. So technically,
I think I was out like $500.
Yeah, I'd say $300 to $500. I think you were out.
I think it's definitely 5.
Because I think, yeah, and I was like, I'm going. It's like September, so it is during the school year.
Yeah, barely.
So Miguel was like, oh, if I just miss a day, like it'd be super easy to make up. One of his teachers.
Yeah.
One of his professors.
Yeah, if I miss more than a week, they'll flunk me.
But it wasn't even more than a week. It was more than 2 days because it was like an every other day class.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was like 2.
Yeah, 2.
I had three classes a week. If I missed 3, then I failed.
Mm-hmm. And we were gonna leave we left Monday or something like that and came back Friday.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, because it was crazy. So then we were going to Disney World for that, so he didn't end up going.
And then I got left behind.
I was gonna say, and then as a child,
I was left behind. So not once, but twice I was left behind.
Yeah.
When I was a wee laddie. These are stories I hear from tales from long ago.
One day.
I was a wee laddie. Maybe. I don't even know how old I was. But
apparently
my parents...
Too young to go.
Too young to go?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I guess. But my parents went to Disneyland and they left me.
You know what's so funny? You would more likely have been free if you were that young.
That's true.
I don't know if that hurts more, but...
It actually does. It actually hurts significantly more. I wasn't even worth a free ticket. Very cool.
Well, if you were under 2, you would be free.
I don't know how old I was.
So that's what I'm saying. That's what I was saying. Like,
I was probably under 2. Probably under 2. I would have been free either way. And okay, so back to the story.
Too.
Flight-wise, I would have been free too. Yeah, the whole thing is just I would have been fucking easy to take. But besides being a baby,
yeah,
which I guess is hard.
You know, needing the multiple naps a day, multiple meals a day.
I suppose, but being loved is probably free too. I would assume that's free. But anyways, yeah, so I was left behind as a kid, and to this day, I will never go to Disneyland or Disney World.
He will go one day.
No.
Yeah, he will go one day.
Nope. Won't do it.
He will. I know he will. I'll keep you guys updated because he will.
Nope. I won't. I won't go.
I'll just be like written on a cruise, but we have to stop here first.
I'll go on the cruise, and I will protest outside the gates.
Like, what did Disney ever do to you?
Hurt my feelings?
Technically, it was never Disney.
It was Disney.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, because without them, it would have never existed.
Well, Disney made some good money, so sorry. But anyways, what else do you got? Anything else? Any other tangents about Disney or what?
I don't think I have anything more for the podcast. Maybe just unrecognized trauma. Um, no, it's not that big of a deal. You know, what kid wants to go to Disney World? You know, you just see it in all the movies and everything. No kid wants to go, right?
Okay, well, I'm gonna cut you off of there so you don't bring everyone down. But
It's because I'm sick, guys.
oh my goodness. Well, we'll see you guys later.
Toodaloo, Bustaroos.